So essential oils. What are essential oils? Any aromatherapists with us? The volatile oils from from plants. Yeah. Okay. How are they obtained? By distillation. And what is distillation? We boil.
Basically, while you're boiling the plant with water.
Yes.
And the volatile part of it, basically the oil rises up with steam.
Yeah.
And then it's cooled down to obtain the oil in the water, which is basically a fluorine water.
Do you know how to draw that?
I can try.
You can try. Okay.
I'm probably going to be incorrect.
That's heat, yeah? It's looking good so far.
I really don't know what happens here. I think there's a small thing where the oil gets collected, and then there's an outlet for.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. It drops into a separating flask. This is called a Florentine flask. But actually nowadays they just call it a separator. But it's and so what happens is that the plant material is in the still. The steam breaks the cells open and releases the oil. The oil volatilizes. It doesn't really evaporate. It just goes into very fine droplets. Yeah? If it evaporated, we would need a temperature much more than 100 degrees centigrade. And it passes with the steam and the water into a condenser. And this condenser will have cold water flowing through it to cool the steam down back to water and oil. And the water and the oil drip into the Florentine flask, or the separator, and the oil floats to the top and then can flow out there, and the water can be taken off and then reused. That's essentially, that actually is water distillation, yeah, because we have water in there and we heat it. If we have steam distillation, slightly different, because what we do is we just take the steam from somewhere else and inject it, yeah. And then we can use a mixture of steam and water to make steam water distillation. Depends on which plant you're doing. For example, if you're doing, it's more to do with what gives you the best yield. So, for example, for vetiver, lavender, steam distillation is more effective. Yeah. The distillation process for lavender will take about 2 hours. For vetiver will take about 48 hours. Yeah.
You said 4 to 8 or 48?
48. Yeah. For vetiver. And we'll come on to why that is later in the course. Yeah. If you were doing something like limes, yeah, limes or rose petals, they deal better with water distillation, yeah, because they're allowed to move around, yeah, and you get a slightly cooler temperature, you get less destruction of the odor. So water distillation is used. So it's to do with how much you get the yield, and what gives you the best odor, which system you use. But every company has its own little secrets how it does it. But the basic principle is the same. Sorry, yeah.
Could the stain be coming from something else and the flavour going into the flame?
Yes. Yeah, that's what that is. If it's steam, it comes in from another source. You boil the water separately.
So that can have a fragrance in it already and then blend it back together.
Oh, I see. You can do that because that's done with a thing called attars in India, where they distill oils over sandalwood. So it's like a two process, but it's not done so much now because sandalwood's just too expensive. Yeah, but you can do that. But usually the steam would be from a pure source. Yeah. And what they do with this water, if they put it back into the system, it's called cohabitated. You use the same water again. Yeah. So, and that's done for rose because you get a better yield if you do that.
And do you need to maintain like a different temperature for each and every different plant material that you're using?
Theoretically, if it's water distillation, it can only be 100 degrees centigrade. But with steam, by increasing the pressure, you can get the pressure higher. So for things like vetiver, you need pressure because the molecules are very big. So to get that volatilization, your temperature may go up to 115, 120 degrees centigrade.
Can it happen that the temperature goes too high, it might destroy the one?
Yes. Yeah, and that's one of the problems with a lot of oils. Vetiver oil, patchouli oil, are very often distilled. This still will not be like a stainless steel. It'll just be an oil drum. It'll be an oil drum. Yeah, like an oil drum. And they fill it up, and they put a fire underneath, so the temperature is not very accurately controlled, and the oil that you get has a burnt character. Yeah. Some people like it. So according to where you get your vetiver from, yeah, it will have a different character, and depending in the south of India, a lot of this is done, in drums like this. Yeah. This essential oils are produced by distillation, and there's a second group of essential oils. This is from Stefan Arctander, a very famous perfume book writer, yeah, who actually wrote down a definition for essential oils. Another one is expression. And this is specifically for citrus fruits. If you look at the skin of a citrus fruit, you'll see translucent cells or translucent sacs. And if you scratch those, then the oil will come out. So you can squeeze the skins to get the oil out, which is where the word expression comes from. Yeah. Or you can, more oftenly, it will be a byproduct of the juice industry. So when they're processing fruits in big quantities for juice, the oil by itself gives a bitter character. So they separate the oil out and then sell it to the perfume industry. Some citrus fruits you can distill, limes, bergamot are two examples, but most citrus oils don't fare very well if you distill them because of they have mostly D-limonene, and D-limonene is very sensitive to distillation. It's spoiled by distillation. So this expression of citrus fruits. Distillation of plant materials. Essential oils will typically make up in a modern perfume something around 15% of the formula. You can make a completely natural perfume. You can make it 100%. I'm not saying that it's limited to 15%. You can use less, you can use more, But that would be like an average if you look at a perfume company's usage over the year, how much essential oil they use compared to aroma chemicals.